Good morning. It is coming up 6:30, the 12th of September. Bit dark this morning. I don't know why. But anyway, coming up to the final parts of the autobiography. So I'll just recap. Talked about me life as a kid, life at work, religious life, be gay life, sex life if you like. So what I'm going to talk about today, because it is part of me, is my interests and hobbies. I class it as, let me move this bit forward a bit, class it as two parts. Interests are interests. It's nothing that I do anything sort of physical work to. Hobbies is where there's a physical activity. So we'll start with interests, not hobbies, interests. I've shown you my DVD collection. Got a decent TV, Sky, that's satellite TV for those in other countries. So yeah, I do like to sit down and relax in front of a TV. When it comes to films and stuff like that, there's nothing better, I find, than on a cold, wintry night, you know, when it starts getting dark at 5 o'clock time or even 4 o'clock, that sit down, bit of heat on, curl up on the settee, sofa, couch, whatever you want to call it, put on a film, lose yourself for a couple hours in a film. It's my enjoyment. Time to relax. The other interests are reading. Always got books. History books, fiction, from horror, comedy, adventure, classic books. What have I just read? To Kill a Mockingbird. I just read Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird just lately. Shakespeare. I've read Shakespeare's plays. I've read them. Non-fiction book, history, theology. Sometimes you read theology, you feel like bashing your head against a brick wall because you keep going back. I didn't understand that part, go back on it. But I do enjoy reading. Music. Music's a funny thing because my musical tastes probably not like everybody's else, but I do like listening to music. Music is basically split into three: classical, original soundtracks, and pop rock. So I'll take each of them in place. We'll start off with these one, pop and rock. I've got things I like: Meatloaf, Wings, or because of being a late child, older relatives, I'm brought up on people like the Beatles, Beach Boys, Bachelors. My idea of music is 60s, 70s, early 80s. Anything after early 80s, yeah, I'm not too modern music. No. A quick side of that is some of the younger generation don't know anything about some of the songs. It was a few years ago, a woman brought out a song to Sir with Love. People said, oh, that's a nice song she's written. I went, well, no. It was actually written by Lulu for a film. No, it was. Yes, it was. It was a film starring Sidney Poitier called To Sir with Love. Lulu sang it. It was the title song. No, it wasn't. Got the phone out, smartphone, found the song. Oh, I didn't realise it was that old. Some things us old people can teach the younger generation. So yeah, pop and stuff like that. Original soundtracks can be split into three: films, TV, shows. Films, things like Forrest Gump, Gladiator, Lost Boys. Some collections such as the James Bond themes, etc. TV, things like Music to Morse, which has a crossover to classical, but TVC and Morse. Sharp TV series. Got a compilation of the greatest movie themes ever written, that type of thing. Shows, obviously shows. Rent. Evita. Thing is, with Evita, I've got the show version, not the film version. The show version's a lot better. There's a lot of little asides that Shay does in the show that aren't in the film. Some of them are very funny. So I do prefer the soundtrack to the show. Rent. Rocky Horror Show. So, the collection. When it comes to classical, again, split into three. Opera, general classical music, and chorales, oratorios, whatever. Opera, the only real big opera I've got is Wagner, The Ring Cycle. I know a lot of people don't like him because it's associated with the Nazis and Germany. To me, The Ring Cycle, the old German legends, Thor, Siegfried, the Valkyries, one of the greatest operas ever written. That's my opinion. General classic music. Night on Bear Mountain. Music for the fireworks. Handel's Water Music. Yeah, Handel wrote the other one as well. The Planets. Choral works by groups such as the Canthus, Medieval Babes. So yeah. Come on to chorales. Love of that sort of music, obviously from church, been in church choir. Also from an old choir master at school. Like I says, I joined the choir at school. Didn't do very well. Very good choir master though. Got the big ones. Wagner. And Verdi's Requiem. Wagner's Requiem? No. Verdi's Requiem. Handel's Messiah. Haydn's Creation. Janacek's Golgothic Matters. Fari's Requiem. Mozart's Requiem. Then you got sort of the Gregorian chants, that type of thing. Then you got Allegri Miserere. What can I say about this? When I listen to that, all the hairs on my arms stand on end. It's so... I don't know how to describe. It's one of them things that you go, the way it's sung. The legend is, it is a legend, I don't know if it's true, not particularly interested, but sometimes these legends are more interesting than the truth. The legend is, it used to only be performed in the Vatican. It was never written down on paper or anything like that. It was taught orally. The older men taught the younger lads when they grew up taught the younger lads, etc. Until Amadeus Mozart went in. Hear this music? Why isn't it being written down on paper? Ah, well, it's sacred, you know, the Pope doesn't like it. Mozart, how he is, went, sod this, I like this, it's going to be written down. He wrote it down. The rest is history. But yes, Allegra Miserere. Can advise anybody to listen to it. I think his tips on YouTube, actually. So that. So we've got TVs, books, music. Theatre used to be a hobby, now an interest due to me working. Used to appear in plays, I've appeared in plays, sung in plays, done stage managing plays, sound and lighting. Can't do it anymore due to commitments of work. But I do like going to see a play. I've seen from tragic to comedy to musical. Same as when I appeared in them. The two most ones I remember for ripping the heart out was Henry Miller's The Crucible and The Diary of Anne Frank. None of us particularly wanted to talk after each performance of them, because it does actually rip the heart out. So yeah, I like seeing theatres. Again, going back to what we talked to last time, Eric, we did go and see quite a few shows at Sheffield, Nottingham. Yeah. I'm sorry, but it's just bring back a lot of memories with Eric. So that's the interests. Now come on to the hobbies. Right. First off, wine making, beer making, I'm going to do as total separate entity because it's such a big thing with me. It's my main hobby, so I'm going to get the autobiographies done out the road, and I'll do that as a separate entity, as a separate video blog. It's not part of the autobiographies. Okay? But besides that, what do I do? Jigsaw puzzles. Again, people look at me and go, jigsaw puzzles, that's really fun. I enjoy doing them. I think it's, again, back to my mum. As I said, we used to do jigsaw puzzles together. Some very nice ones. Anyway, what I've decided is, instead of just making them, then breaking them up, putting them away, and then coming out again, I've done that a couple of times with some of them. I'm now making them, gluing them, special glue you can make, put a frame round them, and it makes a picture that you can put on a wall. People look at them and go, oh, that's a nice picture. Until you say, oh, go and have a close look, and they go, oh, it's a jigsaw puzzle. It's a bit different. Also, there's some jigsaw puzzles. I've got a couple that's called Mosaic. You stand back, you see. I'll explain the panther one. You stand back, it looks like a Black Panther's head. Then you walk up close, and the picture's the Serengeti. So one picture may be gazelles. One of the jigsaw pieces may be a picture of an antelope. Water hogs. The dark areas are either night with the coyotes or night with something like, I don't know, lions. So as you get closer, but as you stand back, you see the full picture. Very good. What I've done, I've got a couple. I'll put a couple of pictures on the end of this section. So yeah, do enjoy doing that. The other hobby, really, I lapsed out of, but I'm getting back into it again, which is amateur radio. To those of you who don't know, amateur radio is basically, you have radio equipment and you talk to somebody else who has radio equipment. The only way I can describe it, think about computers with Skype. It's similar to Skype, but without pictures. And it's quite interesting. First off, you have to be licensed. You're given a call sign, which is allocated to you. You have to stay within the bounds and legal bounds and stuff like that. You can be criminally prosecuted if you're not licensed and you're operating. And you just talk with people all over the world. The fun part is actually trying to get in touch with people. They do have contests. There's proper awards, proper certificates, cups and stuff like that awarded to people. They do quite well on these contests. And it's also quite interesting who you meet. I mean, I don't know who, is it Sultan of Bahrain or one of the countries out there, one of the royalty. You talk to him, blah 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 blah. Yeah, talk to him. Then you sort of think, who's he? So you can actually look up, oh, his call sign's this. But I was talking to the Sultan of Bahrain. I think in America there's an actor, I can't think who it is. It was amateur radio. And what they do, they have these little cards that they can post onto you saying, yeah, you made contact with me on such a day. So you get a card with their own personal signature on, an autograph. If you went to some of these conventions, you'd have to pay for that, but through amateur radio, it's part of the courtesy. So yeah, there's that. So, that's my hobbies. There's one interest I did miss. And it's one of these that's interest and a hobby. I touched on it in the religious thing, the paranormal. I do believe there's something out there, be it people visiting from the other side or whatever. I have been, first off, I watch the programmes. I think in America you have ghost hunters and stuff like that, which has come over here. In England we have Most Haunted, programmes like that. And I have been on ghost hunts. Sometimes nothing's happened. You go away disappointed. Other times you have walked out basically scared to death. Probably not the right analogy there, but it's been a frightening day. Some people say to me, the days that nothing's happened, are you disappointed? No. And I will explain this why, and I'll explain the way I explain to them. Because sometimes you go to these haunted houses and the ghosts, spirits, whatever you want to say, don't come out and play. The only way I can explain this is like you going down to your local pub, your local inn, whatever. You go in, and some days you go in, there may be one person in, two people in. You sat there, bored to death, nothing's happening. You keep looking at the clock and thinking, God, Bennett, it's a long night. You can go into the same pub 2 days later, they've got a disco on, everybody's up and dancing, everybody's screaming and shouting, singing. It's similar to a haunted house. One day the ghost won't play, and the next day, 2 days later, all hell is breaking loose. The only thing I won't touch when it comes to paranormal research or paranormal or anything like that is a Ouija board. Don't trust them. A Ouija board, the idea of a Ouija board, it creates a gateway between you and the spirit world, whatever, and it invites spirits exactly over. The only problem is you don't know what else it's bringing over. I don't play with spirit boards, Ouija boards, however you want to play with them. Don't touch them. So that's it, hobbies. A bit of a short section. But it is important, it is part of me. And it is autobiography about me, so it's got to be mentioned. Only other hobby you could mention is naughty, sex. Yeah, do enjoy sex, and people I've had up have enjoyed it as well. So yeah, this is only a short section because obviously some of the interests I have will not be of interest to anybody else. I says music, reading, TV, very eclectic, hobbies. Some a bit unusual, some a bit weird. People go, oh, never thought about doing that. But I enjoy it. So like I said, it's only a short one this time. I'll promise, after I finish the autobiographies, I will do a big one on winemaking. Won't be actually doing a recipe, it'll be the different routes to winemaking. So thanks very much. Next time is the conclusion. Thanks very much. Speak soon.